Hello, great people. Nigeria woke up to another surprise judgment against the government of Rivers State being led by Governor Siminalayi Fubara, the estranged godson of the Minister of FCT and immediate past governor of the state, Nyesom, Wike. The judgment came as a surprise because the Court of Justice Joyce Abdulmalik, Federal High Court Abuja, restrained CBN, restrained Minister of Finance, even went as far as restraining Zenith Bank, Access Bank in Rivers State from releasing any money to the government of Siminalayi Fubara. So you want to ask yourself that how will Siminalayi Fubara run the state? And the judgment, don't forget, is coming when the month is about to end, or should I say the month has ended. So now in this video, I'll be looking at the politics of that judgment. What brought about that judgment? Is there political dimension to a judgment? What could have influenced the court to give that kind of judgment when it is a matter of public knowledge that the pro-Wike lawmakers defected from PDP to APC? We all saw the video. The videos are everywhere online where they were singing "On Your Mandate We Shall Stand." So what could have prompted the judge to give such a judgment? Now, three judgment has come against the government of Rivers State headed by Siminalayi Fubara. The first one was the first surprise judgment that it shook people, which is that the police that is meant to provide security during an election should not participate in an election. That was surprising to many, and trust Nigerians, they have replicated that instantly in Kano State, whereby there was another ruling that the police should not participate in the election. So it has created a bad wagon effect. Now, another one that came is the appeal court. The appeal court gave a judgment that Siminalayi Fubara should go and represent the budget to the pro-Wike faction that allegedly decamped, that the pro-Wike faction is the authentic faction, not the 4 people that is supporting Fubara, that the over 20 members that are loyal to Wike are the authentic faction. Now, let us look at the politics of this judgment. Follow me carefully. You see, there's something that we call esprit de corps, which is loyalty to your occupation. I don't know the occupation of you watching me, but just imagine your occupation, which in other words is your first address. That thing that you do every day, that thing that you know how to do best. Naturally, in that your occupation, you naturally have an emotional affection towards your occupation and anything that has to do with that your occupation. Now, follow me in this short journey. Don't forget that Nyesom Wike is a lawyer. Barrister Nyesom Wike, that's the way they call him. Don't forget that the wife of Nyesom Wike is a judge at the appeal court. Follow me, I'm going somewhere. The wife of Nyesom Wike is a judge at the appeal court. So naturally, if you are a lawyer, it means that there's no way you will be a lawyer and you won't have your own legal network. We are all Nigerians. That is established. Now, to now make it worse, that your wife that you have been wedded to for years, that knows you in and out, that your pain is her pain, your cry is her cry, is a judge at the appeal court. Naturally, as human beings, there's no way that when you are in pain, your wife or your husband, you that you are watching me, will not try to take 1 or 2 steps to kind of like see how he or she can assist you one way or the other. I'm not accusing the wife of Nyesom Wike. I'm just, as a political scientist, looking at the political dynamics and the reality of what is obtainable in Nigeria, because we are all Nigerians. And as the saying goes, we know ourselves. Understand? So this is not an indictment of the wife of Nyesom Wike, but we all know that when you are in an occupation, it is expected that the people in that occupation, when you are in a trouble, will be loyal to you. For instance, that esprit de corps, which is like a loyalty, a thing of pride that, what we call awoningba wongbowo, which is that you need to rescue your brother at the time of need. So it is difficult in the Nigeria of today that your wife will be a judge in the appeal court and a judgment will come against you from the appeal court. Let us place it in the Nigerian context that I'm referring to. Justice Bukachua, the husband was a senator. The husband felt entitled to the ticket of APC because he, according to his personal confession on the floor of the Senate, when he was denied the ticket, that he usually helped people. You know that judgment at the Senate, judgment for senators, when there's any litigation against your election, ends at the Court of Appeal. It doesn't go to the Supreme Court. And the man on the floor of Senate said there are many of his colleagues there that he has helped. Imagine, look at the influence of man on wife. So if Justice Bukatra's husband could influence his wife to get a favorable judgment for his colleagues at the Senate, now, in that particular context, can you say that Nyesom Wike's wife will not do will not press one or two buttons to kind of like make sure that things goes on well for her husband and her husband is happy? Don't forget that for Nyesom Wike to see Siminalayi Fubara as an ingrate, allegedly, which to me is not, but for him to see Fubara as an ingrate, definitely his wife, they say best of the same feather flock together. There's a probability that his wife will see Fubara as an ingrate. For him to see Fubara as not being loyal, there's a probability that his wife too will see Fubara as being unloyal. So you can see that naturally, they would want to press their links. It is natural. Now, another thing is that Nyesom Wike is a lawyer. He now doubles as Minister of FCT. Now, don't forget, we are looking at the political dynamics of the judgment that came against Rivers State that all allocations should be stopped. Now, Nyesom Wike is the Minister of FCT. He is a lawyer. And when there are so many cases in Federal High Court, Abuja, Nyesom Wike is allocating land, buildings that will be built for judges, High Court judges, Appeal Court judges, Supreme Court judges. And the when he was giving the CFO, the occasion of the allocation of the land, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, my Lord Justice, with profound respect, was at the event, right? So the lower judges, which is the judges of the Appeal Court and High Court, would naturally think that, oh, there is perhaps a connection between the judges for all of them to have been present. And we are all Nigerians. Nyesom Wike knows how to kind of like do the right things at the right time, except politically, in this case of Fubara. So if judges, what is the salary of a judge? Their salary was just increased by over 300%. So that means that as much as it is possible for you to see a poor professor, so also it is possible for you to see a poor medical doctor. So also it is also possible for you to see a poor judge based on the reality of Nigeria. By virtue of that, you are now giving land, houses to a judge, to judges of the appeal court when there is a case against you or people loyal to you in court under that jurisdiction. You can imagine, naturally, you are not supposed to do anything that will favor the judges at that time, not until all those cases are dispensed by the court. There's something we call conflict of interest, which is that what can influence you to act in a certain way as regards a matter before you. So we are Nigerians, people you all of a sudden decide to allocate them land, build them house. There is a natural affection that will naturally come. Don't forget that I first of all said that you being a lawyer alone, you being a lawyer by the spirit of esprit de corps, which is a term commonly used by the military and police. If a military man is driving and he doesn't have paper, if he reaches a police checkpoint and police is interrogating him, he will most likely tell them esprit de corps. They will ask him which corps. He will say, oh, police. They will ask him to identify himself. If he's able to identify himself, that is it. That he doesn't have a paper at that point in time doesn't matter. Because why? He is a first person like you. He is a uniform person like you. So you are meant to be kind of like loyal and be sympathetic to your fellow uniform men. So that you are a lawyer alone gives you great privilege. Now coupled with the fact that you are Minister of FCT and you are now allocating lands to judges, you are the judges are mere mortals like you and I. They have feelings, right? And the problem is with this is that you are Minister of FCT. That means that you are like the governor of Federal Capital Territory, and these judges operate in FCT. Now, another thing is that I believe that in a matter like this, the NJC, if it were to be Senate claims, like abroad, some of the countries that we copy our democracy from, there will be, it is the NJC, the National Judicial Council, is it Nigerian Judicial Council, that will naturally restrain you. They will restrain you from doing anything that can be beneficial to any judge. In fact, if you ask me, I believe that judges in Nigeria, see, if police, if military, when they want to join the force, if they sign, there's a form they give them, which is that if you die in the course of your service, you cannot sue Nigeria, because now you are voluntarily joining the force, and the implication of that is that you have agreed that you want to sacrifice your life for Nigeria. So if military men can sign that their life is sacrificed for Nigeria, that is not what is written in the document, but they write it in a very good, polished way, but that is what it means. If they can write that they've sacrificed their life for Nigeria, the same can be applied to judges. If you are a judge, you are not sacrificing your life for Nigeria, but can you please agree that when you leave that position, at least for the next 10 years, you cannot hold any public office? Why do I say so? Justice Oguntade, with profound respect, was made, I think, ambassador to UK by the Buhari administration. And Justice Oguntade was one of the people that allegedly gave a favorable judgment when Buhari was moving from court to court, when he was a veteran contestant. So the influence of politics in judicial, politicians will not just sit down and watch and say, okay, let the court decide. No, we are all Nigerians. Everybody will try to press their button one way or the other. So when you are now when you are allocating land that allegedly belongs to Julius Berger, you are allocating it to builders for judges. And you ask yourself that if Julius Berger is aggrieved, where will Julius Berger go to when your land was given to the people that you want to go and meet? So definitely your land is gone. Like first subsidy is gone. So we need to be looking at these things so that when a judgment comes, people will have strong faith in that particular judgment. It matters. It's not just giving a judgment. Though this judgment is surprising, because if you stop the allocation of a state, are you thinking of the civil service in that state? Are you thinking of the impact of the school fee and the monthly income of teachers, civil servants, the gateman, a lot of people? Just because of one man, Fubara cannot suffer. That's the truth. Fubara has enough. But you need to look at the implication and the likelihood of that implication to cause crisis in the state. But this was not looked at. So when I was seeing that pattern that Wike is a judge, and Wike is a lawyer, his wife a judge at the appeal court, Wike is busy allocating land and promising to build houses to the judiciary, I'm like, no, this shouldn't be in a sane democracy. Now, disclaimer, I'm not accusing anybody of anything. I'm not accusing the judges. I'm just doing my work as a political scientist. The judgment is out, so definitely one can review it, one can make comment and assertions on it. It's been an interesting time with you on this episode of Politing with Dr. Omotosho. Dr. Deji is a political scientist with a PhD in political science. This is where we analyze politics and happenings in the polity. Do well to subscribe. Do well to turn on your notification button. Do well to catch up with my past videos. I released a video earlier on this River State issue, and I have another one coming up, which is how Fubara can tame Wike, because as it is now, Wike is like a raging fire. If Fubara doesn't strategize and tame him, trust me, it's going to be in serious trouble. How can Fubara tame Wike? Watch out for that in my next video. Of course, you already know, I'm just around the corner, and I love you all sincerely.